الصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Today inshallah we want to take I'm forgetting what Juzz is. Juzz is Surah Yasin 23. So really 23, Juzz 23, we will take Surah Yasin, Surah Safat, Surah Sad, and maybe Surah Az-Zumar, inshallah. So as we mentioned before, these surahs starting from Surah Saba and Fatir, yesterday we took. This is the new group. This is the 5th group of surahs, which the central theme is Tawheed, yeah? And we went into a brief explanation of Tawheed and Shirk yesterday, before we did Saba and Fatir. So today we will inshallah continue with that. In these 3 surahs, Safat, Sad, and Zumar. So let's have a look at an overview of these 3 surahs. These 3 surahs, they seem very closely knitted together. Many things that are related to each other in these surahs. Safat, Sad, and Zumar. Oh, before that, subhanAllah. Let's do Surah Yasin before that, yeah? Surah Yasin. Let's do Surah Yasin before that. Surah Yasin, this is a surah revealed in roughly between the 6th and the 10th of Nabawi. And this is as I mentioned yesterday, there was in Surah Saba, we mentioned that this surah and Fatir, there was the Tawheed of Ilm in Saba and the Tawheed of Allah Ta'ala's power and ability in Surah Fatir. So Surah Yasin also, we find in Surah Yasin, there is a lot of emphasis on Allah Ta'ala's oneness and His authority. So over 45 times Allah Ta'ala, He has mentioned His power, usually by using the plural nahnu, we, yeah, in some form or the other, okay? So this emphasizes the power of Allah, this surah Yasin. Now Surah Yasin, in our cultures, there are many things that we have in our culture, we have associated with Surah Yasin, which is not authentically reported. Yes, and from what I have learned from people of knowledge of Quran and Hadith, and especially Hadith sciences, is that the ahadith regarding Surah Yasin, at most, the ahadith that we find, at most, they are of weak narration, yeah, they are weak, da'if. So we won't find sahih hadith regarding Yasin and the virtues of Surah Yasin, especially things like saying that a person who recites every day in the morning, then this person would get his rizq, etc. There's no such hadith. So just to be aware. And then what people have done in our, unfortunately, because we became disassociated and detached from the Quran, we brought out something called the 5 surahs, Panj Surah. And then people, what they have done, they have just focused their whole life on reading these 5 surahs every day. That's it. They would just read these in the morning when they wake up. So I think in those 5 surahs, there is Yasin, there is Surah Rahman, there is Surah Al-Waqi'ah, and I can't remember 2 others. Surah Al-Mulk maybe. So 5 surahs, people read these all day, every day in their life, but if you ask what is the meaning, then nobody will tell you what the meaning of these surahs is, yeah? So can you see the obvious problem with that? The obvious problem with that is we have made Quran ritual, yeah, which is actually to discredit or to be what's the word I'm trying to use? Be'adabi. Disrespecting the Quran. This is actually disrespecting the Quran when we think just 5 surahs are enough, or just this one surah is enough, and I don't need to know the meaning either. Yeah. So this is not the characteristic of the ummah. Yeah, the ummah that Allah Ta'ala wants. So just for us to note that, of course, to read any ayah in any surah is a virtue, yeah, in itself. Any surah, every ayah is of course virtuous in itself, no doubt, because it is Kalamullah. Anyway, Surah Yasin then has got a lot of jalal in it. The scholar I was listening to, he was saying this is a jalali surah, jalali, meaning it is showing Allah's power and His greatness and His oneness. So inshallah, with that in mind, let's look at this Surah Yasin. The central theme of this surah: acknowledge the inability of those other than Allah. So this is showing Allah has all power, and you have no power unless Allah Ta'ala He gives it to you. And then accept the ability, power, and or absolute authority of Allah, and accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as his messenger, and the Quran and the Akhirah. So with that in mind, let's take some ayat. The first section is about the messengerhood, the risala of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and the greatest proof is, of course, this Quran. This Quran is the greatest proof of the risala of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Yasin. And I want us to think, yeah, right as we're going through it now, and if you have already studied it today, I want you to share what is the message of this surah in your view. Yeah? And then think, if we just read this surah, will we understand that message and act upon that message? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yasin wal Quran al-Hakim innaka laminal mursaleen. So the Quran is the proof of the risala of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ala sirati mustaqim, and that you are on the straight path. Tanzil al-Aziz ar-Rahim. This Quran has been revealed by the Al-Aziz, irresistible, all-powerful, ar-Rahim, and most merciful. And the objective of your messengerhood is litunzira qawman ma unzira aba'uhum wa fahum ghafilun, is to warn your people, yes, warn your people whose forefathers were not warned, because these people, they are unaware, they are ghafil, heedless of the fact that Allah Ta'ala should be worshipped alone. They are ghafil. And then there is a beautiful section about the Ashab al-Qarya. This section, it spreads from ayah 13 to ayah 32, as you can see. Yes, 27 from what I remember in my notes. Okay, so there is Ashab al-Qarya in this. Now, what is this Ashab al-Qarya about? This is essentially giving us an example from the past. So the first section was talking about Allah Ta'ala sending the Quran and the Prophet as the messenger to remind and to warn. This is giving us an example from the past of a tribe or a city or a village where Allah Ta'ala, He sent 2 messengers initially, and then He sent a third. So now 3 messengers, Rasul. So Rasul is singular, Rusul is the plural, which means in Arabic 3 or more is plural, yeah? You know, in Arabic there is singular, there is dual, and there's plural. So these were sent, and the people, they still rejected them. And then Allah Ta'ala, the highlight of this section is a person, a believer who became the messenger of those messengers. Yeah. Now I'm going to ask you in the end of this section, yeah, of Surah Yasin, what's the take-home message of Surah Yasin? Yeah. So I want you to focus and think. Think. I'm not going to give you the answer. You need to think about what is the take-home message of Surah Yasin. So this person who is not named, because naming is not important. What's important is what the person intended. This person, he came running to his people and he said, Ya qawmi ittabi'ul mursaleen. Oh, my people, followed these messengers. And then he gave a reason and evidence why these messengers are true and you should follow them. Ittabi'u man la yas'alukum ajran fahum muhtadun. They do not ask you for any reward, so there is no motive other than sincerity, and they themselves, look at them themselves, they are guided people, they are righteous people. You would say that, yes, they are good people. Yeah? And then he invites them by telling them why he is a follower. وَمَا لِيَ لَا أَعْبُدُ الَّذِي فَطَرَنِي وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. He said, why would I not worship the one who has created me? And I have to return back to him. So this is a summary of Iman in Allah and Iman in Akhirah. And of course, because he's saying follow the messengers, he has given the invitation of Iman bil Risala. So very brief, yeah, da'wah of Iman in Allah, Risala, Akhirah. And then he is rebutting, he is negating why shirk is wrong. أَأَتَّخِذُ مِن دُونِهِ آلِهَةً. Should I take an aliha other than him? إِن يُرِدْنِ الرَّحْمَنُ بِدُرٍّ لَا تُغْنِ أَنِّي شَفَاعَتُهُمْ شَيْئًا وَلَا يُنْقِذُونَ. Because if Allah Ta'ala, He wants to harm me in any way, then these people that you take or I take other than Him, min dunihi aliha, other than Him, if we take anybody other than Allah as the ilah, then these will not be able to intercede or do anything for me if Allah wants to harm me, meaning Allah has absolute power. Yes, absolute power. And if I was to do that, I would be in plain error. And then he says, Inni amantu bi rabbikum. I have believed in your Lord, your Rabb. So he is not saying that I have my own religion, you have your own. No, he's saying Rabb is Rabb for everybody. Yeah, this is another dawah technique. Okay? Not to say, oh, I believe in God. This God, what God do you believe in? And he's very happy, thank you, very nice. Yeah? No, a waste of time. Okay? You said there's only one Rabb for all of us. And I believe in that Rabb. Fasma'un, so please listen to my call, my invitation, and think and consider it. And then immediately the next ayah, subhanallah, qila dkhulil jannah. He entered, he was told, he was said to him, enter the Jannah. So you see what happened here? He is calling them to Tawheed, the Akhirah, Risala, and he says, I also believe. He gives evidence, and he is then killed, and he is shaheed. And immediately he enters into Jannah. قَالَ يَا لَيْتَ قَوْمِ يَعْلَمُونَ. And when he gets to Jannah, he is still worried about his people. He says, I wish my people knew. And look how Allah preserved his wish in the Quran until the last day. Yeah, Allah Ta'ala, He has preserved. And we don't know his name, eh? Doesn't know, it doesn't matter, yeah? You know, this social media nonsense where people are crazy about my likes, dislikes, and I don't even know what else. What else are the things on this social media? All that we people are worried about all the time. This is absolute destruction for the heart and the qalb. All of this. It makes a person self-centered. Me. Who likes me? Who likes me? Who dislikes me? Yes? It makes no difference who likes you or dislikes you. What makes a difference is does Allah like you or not. This is what our priority should be. So this person has been entered into Jannah, and look what he says. I wish my people knew what? Bima ghafara li Rabbi. He wants people to know about the maghfirah of Allah, the forgiveness of Allah. He has forgiven me. وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ. And not only has He forgiven me, He has placed me with those people of honor. مِنَ الصِّدِّقِينَ وَالشُّهَدَاءِ وَالصَّالِحِينَ. وَحَسُنَ أُولَٰئِكَ رَفِيقًا. So this is giving us a lesson that if we want to be successful, be messengers of the messenger. Be messengers of the messenger, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Moving on to ayahs 33 to 35. Allah Ta'ala, He shows some signs in His Rabubiyyah and His greatness and His Aziziyah, and then He asks people, be grateful to this, yeah? Be grateful for this. وَآيَةٌ لَهُمُ الْأَرْضُ الْمَيْتَةُ أَحْيَيْنَاهَا وَأَخْرَجْنَا مِنْهَا حَبًّا فَمِنْهُ يَأْكُلُونَ. And the emphasis here is on the dead earth. Allah, He rejuvenates it and you benefit from its produce. وَجَعَلْنَا فِيهَا جَنَّاتٍ مِّن نَخِيلٍ وَأَعْنَابٍ وَفَجَّرْنَا مِنْهَا الْعُيُونَ. And then He irrigates it so that you can grow all of these fruits, etc. لِيَأْكُلُوا مِنْ ثَمَرِهِ وَمَا عَمِلَتْهُ أَيْدِهِمْ. And then you can have all of this fruit for your consumption, which you didn't produce, Allah Ta'ala has given to you. أَفَلَا يَشْكُرُونَ. Will you not be grateful for this? So the gratitude here is associate all of the favors and the rizq and the provision to Allah. Say this is from Allah. MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah. Yes, MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah, as it said in Surah Al-Kahf. And therefore be grateful. This is from Rabubiyyah. You are moving to which aspect of Tawheed? Uluhiyyah. From Rabubiyyah to Uluhiyyah. You worship Him now. Shukr. Shukr has to take on the form of ibadah. This is shukr, yeah? Ibadah is the shukr for Allah. Okay, moving on. Let's take ayat 51 to 65. Regarding the hereafter. So regarding the hereafter, they would say that when we are bones and we are rotten, will we be resurrected? Yeah. So Allah Ta'ala, He is addressing them by telling them what will happen when you are resurrected. Yeah. It's very interesting. In the Quran, you will find this style of response. Yeah. People cast doubt. Say, oh, how do you know we will be resurrected? Will we be resurrected when we are dust and we are nothing? Allah Ta'ala, He doesn't respond to them by telling them how. He responds by telling them what will actually happen. Because the resurrection and justice is so intrinsically entrenched in our fitrah already that we know there is good and bad. So there must be a result. Yes? So then Allah Ta'ala, He goes straight to the point that what have you prepared for it? As the Prophet ﷺ, when he was asked, when is the hour? He said, what have you prepared for it? Yeah. So the point is not when it is, the point is how you're preparing for it. وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَإِذَا هُمْ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ إِلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَنْسِلُونَ. When Allah Ta'ala, He orders the trumpet to be blown, you will see everybody coming out of their graves. And what will people say who neglected this message? قَالُوا يَا وَيْلَنَا مَنْ بَعَثَنَا مِنْ مَرْقَدِنَا هَذَا مَا وَعْدَ الرَّحْمَنُ وَصَدَقَ الْمُرْسَلُونَ. They will then regret that it would be said, this is what the messengers said. إِنْ كَانَتْ إِلَى صَيْحَةً وَاحِدَةً فَإِذَا هُمْ جَمِيعٌ لَدَيْنَا مُحْضَرُونَ. It will be just one shout, single shout, and everybody would be presented before Allah. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا تُظْلَمُ نَفْسٌ شَيْئًا وَلَا تُجْزَوْنَا إِلَّا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. You will not be wronged, you will get exactly what you deserve. And then Allah Ta'ala tells us about the rewards. إِنَّ أَصْحَابَ الْجَنَّةِ الْيَوْمَ فِي شُغْلٍ فَاكِهُونَ. اللهم رب جعلنا منهم. Allah make us from these people of the paradise. They will be amused in joyful occupation. Hum wa azwajuhum fi dhilalin ala al-ara'iki muttaqi'un. Look, they are enjoying with their spouses, with their wives and their husbands. Lahum fiha fakihatun wa lahum ma yadda'un. Every fruit and whatever you request. Salamun, peace. Qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. Subhanallah. Allah Ta'ala is sending salam on these people. Allahu Akbar. And we mentioned, I can't remember if we've looked at that already or we are going to look at it next time. Salamun Salamun, ha. Salamun in the next surah, Safat. We will see a lot of Salamun ala al-Mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. We will see that in the next surah. And then the Mujrimun, the Mujrimun, the criminals on that day, they will try to get in with the Muslimin, Mu'mineen. No, Allah Ta'ala's angel will say, Wamtazul yawm. Stand apart from them. Ayyuhal mujrimun, you are the criminals. Alam a'had ilaykum ya bani Adama alla ta'budu shaitan. Did we not tell you, did we not enjoin upon you, take a covenant that you will not worship shaitan? What does worshipping shaitan mean? It means you follow his suggestions. You follow his suggestions. Innahu lakum aduwwum mubin an ya'buduni, and you were told, worship me. This is the straight path. But he has misguided many of you, jibillan kathiran, many of you from the creation. Afalam takunu ta'qilun. So why did you not reason about this? Hazihi jahannam. This is the Jahannam. Allati kuntum tu'adun. The Jahannam that you were promised. Islah al-yawm. Enter it today. Bima kuntum takfurun, because of your kufr. Yes? You did kufr. The previous ayat that were shown, Allah Ta'ala said what? Do what? Shukr. You didn't do shukr. You did kufr. So now you enter into the punishment. May Allah Ta'ala protect us. Al-yawma nakhtimu ala afwahihim. Allah Ta'ala will seal their mouth. Wa tukallimuna, and then He will make their hands and their feet to testify and bear witness what they did. The hands will bear witness, yes, what you wrote on Snapchat. The hand will bear witness. The hands will bear witness what you texted, what you searched, yes, and then the feet will bear witness which path you took, good or bad. And for these criminals, of course, it's the bad path. وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ لَتَمَسْنَا عَلَىٰ أَعْيُنِهِمْ فَاسْتَبَقُوا الصِّرَاطَ فَأَنَّىٰ يُبْصِرُونَ. And if we willed, we could have obliterated their eyes, and they would race to find the path, but how could they see without being able to see? So this is a punishment in the hereafter. And then Allah Ta'ala, He mentions that this Quran, it is not poetry. Yeah? And in Surah Shu'ara, in Surah Al-Shu'ara, this was also mentioned, yeah? Because the poetry, and especially the poets, yeah, fi kulli wadi yahimun, they are people who wander around, yeah, and then what they say, they do not do. They do not act upon what they say. So, of course, the Prophet, he is not sha'ir, and this is not shi'r. وَمَا عَلَّمْنَاهُ الشِّعْرِ. We did not teach the Prophet shi'r. وَمَا يَنْبَغِي لَهُ. And this is not befitting for him. This is not right to say that he is a sha'ir, because he has no such qualities at all. In huwa illa dhikrun. In fact, this is a reminder. This is the plain Quran that Allah has revealed. And again, as the surah started, to emphasize liyundhira. This is to warn. But to warn who? This is the question we need to ask and think about. Who will this warning benefit? This is the question, yeah? لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا. This is the key word here, حَيًّا. The Quran, the objective of the Quran being sent is لِيُنذِرَ مَنْ كَانَ حَيًّا, is to warn the people who are alive. حَيًّا. حَيًّا means in heart and mind. Their qalb is also awake. حَيًّا. Yes? So the Quran breathes life into the dead soul. Yes? The dead hearts. Shifa'u lima fi sudur. It is the cure to the diseases of the heart, such as shirk and kufr and nifaq. Okay? So this Quran is going to benefit people who are meaningfully awake and alive, not the people who are dead, their hearts are dead. The other thing is the Quran is for the living. The Quran is guidance for the living. And we as an ummah, we associate Quran just with the dead. That's it. Only time we pick up Quran is when somebody has died. It's too late, unfortunately, for the person. Yes? Because now the person cannot follow the guidance of the Quran, can they? No. So see how we have completely turned it around, yeah? We have turned everything around as an ummah. We have used this Quran as some hocus pocus potion that you read and blow and something will happen magically for you. Yes? And then when people have died, people will get together and they will just recite the Quran. Yes? As a ritual. And there's no meaning, no understanding, no following of Quran. Okay? So we have to be careful we don't fall into that trap of being satisfied with just the Quran being recited when somebody dies. So this Quran will breathe life, real life, as it did to the dead people of Quraysh. The Quran, one of the scholars, he said beautifully, the Quran is like a magnet, magnet. And the Prophet ﷺ, it is as if he was going around in Mecca for 13 years with this magnet, and it attracted whoever had a sound heart. Whoever had a sound heart, whoever's heart was alive, it attracted those people, subhanAllah. And the rest, because their hearts were dead, because of their takabbur, their arrogance, yeah, therefore their hearts were sealed, they were unable to be attracted by this Quran. So this is the beauty of the Quran. May Allah Ta'ala give us that real life. Ameen. And then let's take the end of the surah. أَوَلَمْ يَرَى الْإِنسَانُ أَنَّا خَلَقْنَاهُ مِنْ نُطْفَةٍ فَإِذَا هُوَ خَصِيمٌ مُبِينٌ. Again, in response to their allegation that there's no resurrection, Allah Ta'ala is saying, look at what you were created for. وَضَرَبَ لَنَا مَثَلًا وَنَسِيَ خَلْقَهُ قَالَ مَنْ يُحْيِي الْعِظَامَ وَهُوَ رَمِيمٌ. He forgets his own creation, and then he says, how will we be resurrected when we have completely been disintegrated? قُلْ, say to them, يُحْيِي الَّذِي أَنْشَأَهَا أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. The one who created you in the first place, he will recreate you again. He will give you life again. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ خَلْقٍ عَلِيمٍ. He has absolute knowledge about all of his creation. الَّذِي جَعْلَ لَكُم مِّنَ الشَّجْرِ الْأَخْضَرِ نَارًا. Look, he is the one who has placed in the wood of the trees the ability to burn. فَإِذَا أَنْتُم مِّنْهُ تُوقِدُونَ. And you benefit through the flames. أَوَلَيْسَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ بِقَادِرٍ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَخْلُقَ مِثْلَهُ. Is the one who created the heavens and the earth not able to create the likes? Of course, بَلَى. وَهُوَ الْخَلَّاقُ. He is not just khaliq, he is khallaq. Khallaq is mubalagha, means he can create much, much better than you can imagine. And he can create much, much more than you can imagine. Al-Alim, and he knows everything. إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا. And whenever he intends a matter, أَن يَقُولَ لَهُ كُن. He just has to say kun, فَيَكُن, and it would be. فَسُبْحَانَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. So, Subhan here means Allah, He is free from that you associate with Him. Yes, He's free from any need, any weakness. In His hands is the malakut. Malakut is another way of emphasizing the power, yeah, and the sovereignty and the ownership of Allah of everything. وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. And this is the Allah that you all have to turn back to. That is Surah Yasin. Now these three surahs, Safat, Sad and Zumar, I want to just highlight some connection between these surahs. Safat, Sad, and Zumar. Okay. There is a key word in all three of these surahs. Mukhlis. 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 All three surahs. Mukhlis has been mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At least 11 times in all three surahs. It is a recurring theme in these three surahs. Mukhlis. Let's understand what is mukhlis. I'll come back to this. Mukhlis. There is one word, mukhlis. 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 Mukhlis means sincere. Yes, sincere. Mukhlis means it can mean when you separate something, you put it to one side. You separate it, you pick something, and you put it to one side. Put it to one side. Mukhlis. Yeah, meaning you have singled out Allah Ta'ala alone, sincerely, for worship. Yes. Now, when a person is mukhlis, Allah Ta'ala, He responds to that by making those people mukhlas. 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 So there's the difference, yeah? The difference is the fatha there. That's the difference to this here. So this is mukhlis, and this we could write in English as mukhlas. Yeah, so the difference is the is and the as. Okay? Mukhlas is when Allah chooses. Yeah? When He chooses, Allah, He chooses these people. But the process is that the person first sincerely chooses Allah alone for worship. And then Allah Ta'ala, therefore, He chooses this person as His abd, as His servant. And this is an honor. Okay? Mukhlis and mukhlas. The opposite of mukhlis or mukhlas or ikhlas is ikhlat. 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 Ikhlat means to mix up. To mix up, yeah, things together. Ikhlat is to mix up things. So to say that yes, Allah has a right, but somebody else also has a right. This person also has the same right as Allah, and this idol has the same right as Allah. Yes, to mix up Allah's rights. Ikhlat. And this word has been used in the Quran a few times. And we will see it, I think, in maybe one of these surahs as well. Okay, coming back. So mukhlis is the key word here. In this surah, we will find mukhlis used 4 or 5 times. Then throughout this surah, there is mention of messengers, and Allah Ta'ala, He sent salam upon them. Salamun ala Nuh. Then salamun ala Ibrahim. Then salamun ala Musa wa Harun. Salamun ala Ilyasin. Yes, salam, 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 salam. Why? Because they are mukhlis. What did Allah say in the previous surah? In Surah Yasin, I mentioned, when I was mentioning it just now, that Allah Ta'ala, He says, salam. Salamun min Rabbir Rahim. Ya qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. Salamun qawlan min Rabbir Rahim. To the people in Jannah. Yes, salam. So this salam is the salam, yeah? Which means now you have no worry. You're completely safe. Absolutely safe. Yes, so Allah Ta'ala, He's sending them salam because they were ibadinal mu'minin. So it is mentioned many times. Ibadinal mu'minin and muhsinin. Muhsinin, good doers. Okay, in the Surah Safat. And this is also one aspect of this is they had qalb salim. Qalb salim. They had a sound, safe, sound heart when they meet Allah. And this is against the people who were mutakabbir. They did give istikbar. Istikbar. They were arrogant. Yes. They were too arrogant to acknowledge and worship Allah Ta'ala. Uluhiyya. Their arrogance is of uluhiyya. Yeah? They don't worship Allah. So this is Surah Safat, summary. So let's take these ayat, inshallah, and then we'll do summary of the other two surahs, and then you can see the inshallah, the ongoing relationship between these surahs. Surah Safat. As-Safat, beautiful. This is revealed again in the between the 6th and the 10th of Nabawi, when the Prophet ﷺ was being called Sahir, magician, Sha'ir Majnoon, a Sha'ir who has been possessed. Yeah. So Allah Ta'ala is responding to this. Allah Ta'ala is saying in this surah, angels are not the daughters of Allah. Yeah. So this is one of the shirk, yeah, that they committed. Shirk. That angels are the daughters of Allah. This is one of the shirk. You can call this, I'm just trying to think which category of shirk this would come under. You could say shirk fi zat. Yes, because you are making something part of Allah. Yeah. Daughters or sons, yeah. No, they are not the daughters of Allah. The surah is itself saying was Safat. Safat, referring to the angels that stand in rows, just like we stand in the salah, in the prayer, in obedience, yes, ready to obey. This is what it means, Safat. Safat means standing in rows, disciplined, silence, humble, ready to obey the commandment of Allah as soon as it comes. This is Safat. And this is what the true believers are. The mukhlisin, they are just like this, standing in order for the instruction, and as soon as the instruction comes, Samina wa ta'ana. They are the obedient servants of Allah who glorify Him. All prophets were chosen, so they were mukhlas, believers, mu'min, and muhsin. Allah praises the prophets. So salamun ala al-mursaleen. In the end of the surah, wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Subhanallahi, what is the ayah? Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. This is the end of the surah. Allah praises the prophets for remaining steadfast on tawheed and the akhirah. Invitation to adopt pure tawheed with ikhlas, free from any impurity, no ikhlat. Yeah, ikhlas, no ikhlat. Okay, long section on the differing outcomes of the believers and rejectors. So what will happen to the people who believe, their reward, and what will happen to the people who disbelieved, their punishment. Let's take some ayat. We will take ayah 1 to 5 first. The beginning of the surah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَالصَّافَّاتِ صَفًّا فَالزَّاجِرَاتِ الزَّجْرًا فَالتَّالِيَاتِ ذِكْرًا. These angels, they bear witness to what? Inna ilahakum lawahid. That you only have one ilah. Only one you worship, you obey, you submit to. Rabbus samawati wal ard wa ma baynahuma wa rabbul mashariq. And He is the sustainer of all that exists. And then moving on, the day of judgment and the punishment and reward. وَقَالُوا يَا وَيْلَنَا هَذَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. So this is regarding the people who disbelieved. هَذَا يَوْمُ الْفَصْلِ الَّذِي كُنْتُمْ بِهِ تُكَذِّبُونَ. This is the day when you will be now separated. This is the day of judgment. You used to deny it. اُحْشُرُوا الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا وَأَزْوَاجَهُمْ وَمَا كَانُوا يَعْبُدُونَ. Allah Ta'ala will say, gather them. These people who did zulm, did shirk, and those like them, and whatever they used to worship other than Allah, min dunillah, fahuduhum, now guide them, take them ila siratil jahim, take them to their destination, because they were already on the path to the hellfire, because they were ala siratil jahim, they were not ala siratil mustaqim. Yeah, you see the life they were living. You see, every life, that every footstep we are taking in our life, it is towards an end. Yes, it is on a trajectory towards something. It is either Sirat al-Mustaqim, towards the Jannah, or ala Sirat al-Jahim, which is towards the Jahannam. May Allah protect us from that. So now they have reached their destination, but before they are entered, waqifuhum, stop them. Innahum mas'ulun, they will be questioned now. Ma lakum la tanasarun. Now they will be asked, what's wrong with you now? You don't help each other. You used to say, in the dunya, you used to say, like some of the Quraysh leaders, they would say, how many angels there are? Alayha tis'ata ashar, 19? Okay, don't worry, I will take care of 18 of them. You take care of one of them. But they used to boast that we will help each other. But today you are not helping each other. Bal humul yawma mustaslimun. But today, this is a key word here, yeah? Mustaslimun. This will come again in the surah, if I remember. Mustaslimun. Now you are offering your Islam, which means your surrender to Allah. It's too late. You have to surrender to Allah where? In the dunya. This is where we have to submit ourselves to Allah. And then it would be accepted, not in the hereafter. Now you are happy to offer your obedience. No. وَأَقْبَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. They will ask each other, blaming each other. قَالُوا إِنَّكُمْ كُنْتُمْ تَأْتُونَنَا عَنِ الْيَمِينِ. And now they start to play the blaming game. Yeah, you know the blaming game? This is the blaming game that they play. And in the Quran, so many times, the leaders and the followers, they blame each other. Yeah, they blame each other. Just like, sometimes in the classroom, you say to somebody, why did you do that? You say, he told me to do it. Yeah. So the person wants to go down with the other people. Yeah. So this is the blaming game that the people, they play. But there's no benefit of this. And their main problem is, this is their problem. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا إِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. When it was said to them, say La ilaha illallah, means submit to Allah, worship Allah, follow the Sharia. Yes, this is ilah, this is uluhiyah. Yastakbirun. Their response was of istikbar. Yastakbirun, the Prophet ﷺ, he explained what is kibr. Yes, in the Sahih Hadith. He said this is batrul haq and ghamtun nas. Ghamtun nas, looking down on people. Batrul haq, and to be too arrogant to accept the truth. Which surah did the word batr come in? When the army came out, Surah Al-Anfal, when the Quraysh, they came out in arrogance, batran, yeah, with arrogance. So they had the arrogance not to accept the message. And you would be surprised, anybody who is invited to Islam, so Islam is that which is in Quran, and that is what the Prophet ﷺ said and the Sahaba understood. That's Islam. Not what you and I think is Islam. Yeah. This Islam, whenever it is presented holistically, clearly, as it is, as the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ballighu anni walau ayah," and any person who would reject it, it is because of istikbar. Any person. Any person rejects the truth once they know it, it is istikbar. Because they would either think how they would say, they may not say it, because it's not politically correct to say it, but they may think, who is this person to tell me what's right or wrong? You think I've been stupid all these years? Yeah? So this is istikbar. So this is the reason for their punishment. Okay. So now, Allah Ta'ala says everybody will be punished illa ibadullahi al-mukhlasin. So now the word mukhlas and mukhlis is coming now, yeah? Mukhlasin, the people who Allah chose. Look at the reward of the mukhlasin. Who are the mukhlasin? The people who Allah chose. Why Allah chose them? Because they are mukhlis. Mukhlis means sincere to what? Sincere to Allah. And mukhlis, the other meaning was that they single out Allah for obedience. Okay? أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ رِزْقٌ مَعْلُومٌ فَوَاكِهُ وَهُمْ مُكْرَمُونَ. I will read the Arabic, you read the English. فِي جَنَّاتِ النَّعِيمِ عَلَى سُرُرٍ مُتَقَابِلِينَ يُطَافُ عَلَيْهِمْ بِكَأْسٍ مِّن مَّعِينٍ. Beautiful, subhanallah, look at this. بَيْضَاءَ لَذَّةٍ لِلشَّارِبِينَ لَا فِيهَا غَوْلٌ وَلَا هُمْ أَنْهَا يُنْزَفُونَ. No bad effects of the drink. وَإِنْدَهُمْ قَاصِرَاتُ الطَّرْفِ عِينٌ كَأَنَّهُنَّ بَيْضٌ مَكْنُونٌ فَأَقْبَلَ بَعْضُهُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ. And then it mentions that a person would ask about this other person that was in the dunya, but he cannot see him in the Jannah. And then it would be said, look at this person who denied the resurrection. Look at this person. فَطَّلَعَ فَرَآهُ فِي سَوَاءِ الْجَحِيمِ. The person will look down and he will see the person in the middle of the Jahannam. And then this person in Jannah would say, by Allah, I was so close to following him. If Allah had not saved me, I would be with him in the Jahannam. Meaning, your company you keep, you have to be careful. Yes, the company you keep, the friendship that you develop. Is this friend going to take me to Jannah or Jahannam? That's the criteria of friendship. Friend is the one who takes you to Jannah. And your friend cannot be the one who doesn't even believe in the Jannah and Jahannam. Cannot be your real friend. Yes? So Allah Ta'ala is saying, for this Jannah, لِمِثْلِ هَذَا فَلْيَعْمَلِ الْعَامِلُونَ. So we should work for this. This Jannah we should be working for. Being sincere to Allah. And then the surah goes on to talk about the punishment, the Jahannam. And then moving on, the other crime of these people, إِنَّهُمْ أَلْفُوا آبَاءَهُمْ ضَالِّينَ. They found their fathers astray. فَهُمْ عَلَىٰ آثَارِهِمْ يُحْرَؤُونَ. But they love to follow in their footsteps of their tradition and culture, even if it was wrong. Yeah. So be careful of blind following of forefathers, if it will lead to the punishment of Allah. And then again Allah Ta'ala says, these people were warned but they were punished. Who was saved? Illa ibadullahil mukhlasin. These chosen servants of Allah, they were saved. Who are these? First of all, Nuh alayhi salam. Nuh alayhi salam. And Allah Ta'ala says about Nuh alayhi salam, Salamun ala Nuh fil alameen. Yes. So salam on him. And he was ibadinal mu'mineen, and he was muhsinin. He was a good doer and he was a true believer. And then Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he will come on the day of judgment, biqalbin salim. Biqalbin salim. Because they were pure in their sincerity to Allah, Allah gave them a pure, sound, safe heart. Allahumma rabba ja'alna minhum. Yes? And to him also, Allah Ta'ala, He sends salam upon him as well. And then it talks about his da'wah, etc., and his having Ismail, and then him sacrificing everything for the sake of Allah. And then in the end, Allah Ta'ala, He sent salam ala Ibrahim. Salamun ala Ibrahim. He stood up for his sincerity to Allah. He was mukhlis. Allah chose him. And then Allah is rewarding him with salam. Yes, peace. Because he was muhsin and he was mu'min. Okay, moving on. Musa and Harun alayhi salam, Allah Ta'ala, He honors them. Salamun ala Musa wa Harun. Salam upon these. They were muhsin, they were mu'min. Can you see the pattern, recurring pattern? This is why I want you to study Quran and think, and then you will find all of these patterns, inshallah. Illa ibadullah al-mukhlasin. Only the people who Allah has chosen, His servants, they will be saved. And then Salamun ala Ilyasin. He is most muhsin and mu'min. Subhanallah al-azim. And then Lut alayhi salam has been mentioned. And then after that, Yunus alayhi salam, he has been mentioned. And then Allah Ta'ala, He mentions in ayah, where are we? 160. Illa ibadullah al-mukhlasin again. All of them, they are sincere to Allah. So Allah Ta'ala, He chose these sincere people. And then again in ayah 169, we would have been the chosen servants, these people who are regretting now the hereafter. We wish we had been ibadullah al-mukhlasin. We had chosen Allah, so He would have chosen us, but it is too late. And then Allah Ta'ala mentions, وَلَقَدْ سَبَقَتْ كَلِمَتُنَا لِعِبَادِنَا الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Allah Ta'ala has decided for His messengers, إِنَّهُمْ لَهُمُ الْمَنْصُورُونَ. They will always be victorious. Allah, He would give them victory. وَإِنَّ جُنْدَنَا لَهُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. And our soldiers, the believers, the true believers who are mukhlis, mu'min, muhsin, these people would always be victorious. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, now you just wait for the for the end, and the end will be for the people of true belief. And so Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun. Allah, He is free and He's high, glorified, and He is completely free from what they associate with Him. So Salamun ala al-Mursaleen. So salam on those Mursaleen that came to tell people that Allah, He is pure. And of course, in the end, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praise and thanks is for Allah, Rabb of everything. Surah Sad, although we don't have time, let me just tell you something about Surah Sad before we stop here. Surah Sad, there are some key words in Surah Sad. One is Awwab, 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 Anab, people who turn to Allah. They all turn to Allah. Many prophets, messengers mentioned here. They turn to Allah. They were the best akhyar, Mustafain al-akhyar. They were chosen because they were the best. And then Ulul Albab has been started to mention in this surah. Ulul Albab, the people of intellect. And then Mukhlis has been mentioned again in this surah. And then in Surah Zumar we find again Ulul Albab mentioned in Surah, and Mukhlis mentioned in Surah Zumar. The heart mentioned in the Qalb mentioned in Surah Zumar. Yes, so inshallah, tomorrow we hope to take Sa'd and Zumar. Bi'iznillahi ta'ala, inshallah. So study the surahs, brothers, sisters. Please study the surahs. Let me give you a tip on studying these surahs, yeah? Read Surah Safat, Sad and Zumar in one go. All three in one go. And then you will click, some words will click to you, like Mukhlis. Yeah? Then read it again. Some other words will click. Then read it again. Some other words will click. Then sit down and note the things in each surah like I did for you here. And then start to think. Think, what's the connection here? What's the connection here? You will see that here, the Mukhlisin, the Mukhlis, they are Muhsin, they are Mu'min, they are Awwab, they are Anab, they are Akhyar, they are Ulul Albab. Yes? Because they have good hearts. You can see that now, eh? SubhanAllah. In this, inshallah, we hope to continue, inshallah, with the study. Bismillah.